There are moments in life when you feel like everything is just out of reach. You've worked hard, you've dreamed big, but somehow it feels like the door is always locked, and the key is somewhere far away. What if I told you that you're closer to your dreams, your purpose, and your true self than you think? That the very thing you've been seeking has been within you all along, waiting for you to recognize it. Think about the times when you've been on the verge of giving up. Maybe you've said to yourself, I've tried everything, and it's just not happening. But deep within, you sense there's something more. There's a part of you, a quiet voice that whispers, keep going. You may not see it yet, but the universe is constantly aligning itself with your desires, and every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to what you truly seek. In every moment, the universe is responding to your thoughts, your beliefs, and your intentions. It's not about pushing harder or forcing outcomes. It's about understanding that you are already on the right path. The journey isn't something you need to chase. It's unfolding naturally, and you are already a part of it. All you need to do is recognize how close you truly are. I want you to consider this: you are not separate from the life you desire. The universe, your dreams, your highest potential. It's all a reflection of who you already are. And once you understand that, you begin to realize how much power you have right now. There is no great distance between where you are and where you want to be. You're closer than you think. There's a saying I've always loved: when the student is ready, the teacher appears. The truth is, the teacher, the answer to your questions, the path to your dreams, is always there, but you must be open to receiving it. The universe doesn't withhold, it responds. You've just been waiting for the right moment to allow the flow of abundance, love, and inspiration into your life. We live in a world that often tries to convince us that we are separate from what we desire, as if there's some great distance between us and our goals. But the truth is, there is no separation. The power of intention is not something that exists outside of us, waiting to be discovered, but rather something that lives within us, ready to be harnessed and directed. The very moment we realize that our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality, we begin to tap into the immense potential that resides within. Intention is not merely a thought or a goal to be pursued. It is the very force that drives the universe. It's the energy that animates everything around us: the trees, the sky, the stars, and even ourselves. The power of intention is in constant motion, creating, transforming, and aligning the world according to the energy it receives. When we align ourselves with this energy, we are aligning with the natural flow of life itself. And this is where the real magic happens. Imagine for a moment that you are a radio receiver. You are constantly tuning into different frequencies with your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Every thought you have sends a signal out into the universe, and that signal is matched by an energy frequency that aligns with your intent. If you send out a signal of lack or fear, the universe will respond with a frequency that mirrors those feelings, bringing more situations, people, and experiences that reflect those beliefs. However, when you shift your thoughts to those of abundance, love, and possibility, the universe responds in kind, bringing experiences that resonate with those higher frequencies. This is not magic. It's the law of attraction at work, a law that is as natural and consistent as the law of gravity. When you set an intention, you are not trying to force the universe to deliver something it otherwise wouldn't. Instead, you are simply aligning your internal energy with the greater flow of life. The more clearly you define your intention, the more the universe is able to align itself with your desires. But here's the important part. You must be willing to trust that the universe already knows the best way to bring your intention into fruition. Sometimes, we get too attached to how and when things should unfold, and that attachment limits our ability to fully receive what we've asked for. Let go of the need to control the process, and trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you can't yet see how. This process begins with a shift in consciousness. Many of us are conditioned to think in terms of scarcity and limitation. There's not enough time, not enough money, not enough opportunities. But when we embrace the understanding that we are part of a larger, interconnected whole, we begin to recognize that there is no such thing as lack. The universe is abundant, and we are always a part of that abundance. The first step in the power of intention is to shift our mindset from one of limitation to one of infinite possibility. It's about seeing the world not as a place of restrictions but as a playground full of opportunities, waiting for us to step in and claim our part. Now, it's important to understand that the power of intention is not about wishing or hoping for something. It's about becoming so in tune with the energy of what you want that you align yourself with it. This is where true transformation occurs. The universe responds not only to what you desire, but to the energy you radiate. If your energy is aligned with your desires will inevitably come into your life. But if your energy is misaligned, if you are filled with doubt or fear, you will find it much harder to manifest your intentions. Let's take a moment to consider what it really means to align with your intention. Alignment is not about forcing yourself to think positive thoughts or act in ways that don't feel authentic. It's about connecting with the deepest part of yourself, the part that knows exactly what you need, what you truly want, and what is right for you. When you align with your intention, you are simply aligning with the truth of who you are. You are tapping into the very essence of your being, and from that place, you are able to attract the experiences that reflect your true nature. This alignment is an effortless process. It requires no struggle or manipulation. It simply requires you to let go of the need to control and trust that what is meant for you will come to you in the perfect way. So, how do we begin this process? The first step is to become aware of our thoughts and beliefs. What are you thinking about on a daily basis? Are your thoughts aligned with the life you want to create? Or are they focused on what's wrong or missing? It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking about what's not working or what you don't have, but the power of intention requires that you focus on what you want, not on what you don't. Shift your thoughts from problems to possibilities. Instead of thinking, I don't have enough money, focus on thoughts like, I am open to receiving abundance in many forms. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, focus on thoughts like, I am worthy of all the love, success, and happiness the universe has to offer. Another essential aspect of the power of intention is gratitude. When you live in a state of gratitude, you are in alignment with the energy of abundance. Gratitude is a magnetic force that attracts more of what you appreciate into your life. By practicing gratitude every day, you shift your focus from what you lack to what you already have. And in doing so, you begin to invite more blessings into your life. Remember, the universe is always responding to your energy, and when your energy is one of gratitude and appreciation, the universe responds by bringing more of the same. In the end, the power of intention is not something that requires effort or struggle. It requires a shift in awareness and a willingness to trust that the universe is always working in your favor. You are not separate from your dreams. You are not disconnected from the abundance you seek. The power of intention is the recognition that everything you desire is already on its way to you, and all you need to do is align yourself with it. You are closer than you think. We live in a world that constantly bombards us with messages that suggest we are not enough. We are told we need to be smarter, richer, more attractive, more successful, constantly striving to become someone else, someone better, someone who can earn the approval of others or achieve the standards set by society. It's easy to internalize this narrative, to believe that we are somehow incomplete or flawed, that we need to do more to deserve love, success, and happiness. But what if, just for a moment, we let go of this idea that we are not enough? What if we understood deeply and profoundly that we are already enough, exactly as we are, right now, in this moment? The truth is, you are worthy of everything you desire. You are worthy of love, success, peace, and every good thing that life has to offer. This isn't something you have to earn, it's your birthright. You don't have to become someone else to deserve these things. You don't have to change or improve or prove anything. The key to unlocking the abundance of life is understanding this fundamental truth: you are already enough. The belief that you are not enough is the root of so many of the struggles we face in life. It causes us to doubt ourselves, to play small, to hold back from pursuing our dreams. It creates a barrier between us and the life we want to live. We often think that we need to be perfect in order to succeed, that we have to have it all together before we can be happy. This perfectionism keeps us stuck in a cycle of comparison, constantly measuring ourselves against others, wondering if we are good enough, worthy enough, deserving enough. But perfectionism is a lie. It's a trap that keeps you focused on your flaws and limitations rather than your strengths and potential. When you buy into the idea that you must be perfect, you are robbing yourself of the freedom to be who you truly are. Perfectionism doesn't allow for growth. It only feeds insecurity. The reality is that the most successful people, the most fulfilled people, are not those who have it all figured out or who meet some ideal of perfection. They are the people who are willing to be imperfect, to embrace their flaws, and to show up as they are, without apology. The first step in freeing yourself from this limiting belief is to let go of the idea that you need to prove anything to anyone, especially yourself. You don't have to prove that you are worthy. You don't have to prove that you are capable or deserving. You simply have to accept that you are worthy by virtue of your existence. You are here for a reason, and that reason is to live fully, to express yourself authentically, and to create the life you desire. The moment you release the need to prove yourself is the moment you unlock your true potential. Understanding that you are enough also means that you stop looking for external validation. Society teaches us to seek approval from others, to look for recognition, to chase after accolades and rewards. But the truth is, the only validation that matters is your own. When you recognize your worth and your inherent value, you no longer need anyone else to tell you that you're good enough. Your confidence comes from within, not from the opinions of others. The approval of others becomes secondary to your own inner knowing that you are worthy, just as you are. This shift in mindset requires a change in how you see yourself. Instead of seeing yourself through the lens of what you don't have or what you haven't accomplished, begin to see yourself through the lens of what you already are: a unique, valuable, and irreplaceable human being. Every single person has their own set of gifts, talents, and qualities that make them special. No one else can offer the world exactly what you can offer. You are the only one who can express your unique perspective, your unique creativity, and your unique love. And that is enough. Embracing the idea that you are enough also means letting go of the need to compete with others. In a world that constantly encourages comparison, it can be difficult to avoid measuring yourself against others. But when you understand that you are enough, you stop seeing others as competition. You recognize that their success does not take away from your own. There is no finite amount of success, love, or happiness in the world. The more you embrace your worthiness, the more you open yourself to receive everything that life has to offer. You begin to see that the success of others can inspire you, not diminish you, because there is more than enough to go around. This realization allows you to show up in the world with greater courage and authenticity. You no longer need to hide behind a facade of perfection or put on a mask to fit in. You can be yourself unapologetically, because you know that being yourself is more than enough. When you embrace your true self, you become magnetic. You attract the right people, opportunities, and experiences into your life, because you are aligned with your true essence. There is nothing more powerful than the energy of someone who is comfortable in their own skin, who knows their worth, and who isn't afraid to express it. The path to self-acceptance is not always easy. We live in a culture that often tells us we're not enough, that we need to change or fix ourselves. But the truth is, you don't need to change who you are in order to live the life of your dreams. You need to embrace who you are, exactly as you are, and recognize that you are enough. When you do this, you shift your energy, and the universe responds. Opportunities begin to show up, relationships deepen, and your life unfolds in ways you never imagined possible. You are enough, you always have been. The key is to accept it, to truly believe it, and to live from that place of knowing. When you do, everything you desire will begin to flow toward you, because you are already aligned with the abundance of the universe. You are worthy, not because of what you do or how you look, but simply because you exist. And that is more than enough. Life has a way of presenting us with challenges, obstacles, and situations that seem to stretch us beyond our limits. We encounter roadblocks, experience setbacks, and sometimes even feel as though we're falling behind in some aspect of our lives. During these moments, it's easy to become frustrated or discouraged, to believe that we are off track or that we're not where we're supposed to be. But the truth is, life doesn't operate according to the timeline we set for it. The timing of our lives is not something we control. It is something that unfolds perfectly in its own time and in its own way. Trusting the timing of your life means having the faith to believe that everything is happening just as it should. It requires surrendering the need for control, letting go of the anxious thoughts about where you are in comparison to others, and understanding that every experience, every detour, and every delay is serving a purpose. The universe does not make mistakes. Everything is unfolding exactly as it needs to, even when it doesn't make sense to us in the moment. Think about the times in your life when you thought you were too late or too early to do something. Perhaps you were waiting for the right time to start a new career, to pursue a passion, or to take a leap of faith. But instead of forcing things, you allowed them to unfold in their own time, and eventually, you found that things fell into place when they were meant to. The relationships you needed, the opportunities you sought, and the clarity you longed for all arrived when the time was right. Had you tried to rush it, or had you forced things to happen before their time, you might not have experienced the same results. It's important to realize that every step along your path, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, is contributing to your growth. Just as a seed needs time to sprout, grow, and bloom into a flower, so do you need time to evolve into the person you are becoming. Growth is not an instantaneous process, and it should not be rushed. Each experience you have, each challenge you face, is preparing you for the next phase of your journey. When you trust in the process, you can relax and allow your life to unfold in a natural, effortless way. The challenge comes when we try to speed up the process. We become impatient, believing that we should have already achieved our goals, or that we should have already reached some desired destination. We look at others and compare ourselves to where they are in their lives, assuming that if they've achieved something, we should have too. But comparison is a thief of joy. It distorts our perception of our own journey and causes us to feel inadequate or behind. When we focus on what others have or are doing, we lose sight of our own unique path. Each person's journey is different, and we must trust that our individual paths are unfolding exactly as they should. Just because someone else has achieved something or reached a certain milestone doesn't mean we are behind or that we are not progressing. Your timing is unique to you, and you must trust that your path is moving in alignment with your personal growth, experiences, and purpose. There is no set timeline for success or fulfillment. Your life is not a race, and there is no need to rush through it. Trusting the timing of your life also means allowing things to happen when they are meant to. This requires patience, which can be one of the most difficult virtues to practice in a world that thrives on immediacy and instant gratification. We want things to happen quickly. We want to see results now. We want our desires to materialize right away. But life doesn't work that way. Sometimes, the things we want require time to grow and develop, and we need to honor that process. For example, if you plant a tree, you don't expect it to bear fruit immediately. You understand that the tree needs time to grow strong roots, to stretch its branches, and to receive the nourishment it needs to thrive. The same principle applies to our lives. The desires we hold in our hearts require time, patience, and nurturing. We cannot rush the process. The universe has its own timing, and when we try to force things, we disrupt the natural flow of life. It's also important to recognize that sometimes, delays are not a sign of failure, but rather a sign of preparation. The universe is always working in our favor, even when we can't see it. There may be things we need to learn, people we need to meet, or opportunities that need to align before we can receive what we desire. Just as a potter shapes clay, sometimes life is molding and preparing us for what's next. We may not understand why things aren't happening on our timeline, but we must trust that we are being prepared for something greater. Another key to trusting the timing of your life is surrender. This doesn't mean giving up or resigning yourself to fate. Surrendering means letting go of the need to control every outcome, trusting that life will unfold in the way that is most beneficial to us. It's about releasing resistance and accepting that what's meant for us will come to us when the time is right. Surrender is not passive, it's active trust. It's trusting that life will deliver what we need in the right time, even if we can't see the whole picture yet. In surrendering, we also stop clinging to our expectations. We stop trying to force outcomes or cling to specific timelines. We simply allow life to unfold in its own rhythm, trusting that our desires are being met in the perfect way. We can still set intentions, take action, and move forward, but we do so without the expectation of immediate results. When we release the need for immediate gratification, we find that life has a way of surprising us in the most beautiful and unexpected ways. When you trust the timing of your life, you create space for ease, joy, and peace. You stop worrying about when things will happen and start enjoying the process of becoming. You begin to see each moment as part of a larger unfolding, and you start to appreciate the journey itself, rather than focusing solely on the destination. Life becomes less about achieving goals and more about experiencing each step along the way. And when you embrace this mindset, you'll find that everything begins to align more effortlessly than ever before. Life is not meant to be a constant struggle or a battle to overcome obstacles. Too often, we are taught that success comes from relentless effort, from pushing through difficulties, and from fighting our way to the top. While effort is necessary, it's important to recognize that there is another way to live, a way that allows us to flow with the rhythm of life rather than resist it. This way is the way of flow, the state of allowing life to unfold naturally and effortlessly, without resistance or force. When we embrace the idea of living in flow, we open ourselves up to a more harmonious and fulfilling existence. Flow is a state of being where we are fully aligned with the present moment, where we feel connected to ourselves and to the world around us. It's a state in which things come to us naturally, where our actions and our intentions are in perfect harmony. When we are in flow, we are not trying to control or manipulate outcomes. Instead, we are trusting that the universe is working in our favor, and we are allowing things to unfold as they are meant to. We are, in essence, working with the current of life rather than against it. One of the first steps in embracing flow is learning to let go of the need for control. Control is often a defense mechanism, a way of protecting ourselves from the uncertainties of life. We feel more comfortable when we know exactly how things will turn out, when we have a clear plan, and when we can anticipate every possibility. But life is unpredictable, and the more we try to control every aspect of it, the more we close ourselves off from the spontaneity and creativity that can only arise when we surrender to the flow. When we are focused on controlling the outcome of every situation, we limit the possibilities. We often get so attached to our ideas of how things should be that we overlook the many other paths that could lead to even greater results. The truth is, we don't always know what's best for us. We may think we have the perfect plan, but the universe has a way of bringing us what we truly need, even if it's not what we expected. When we let go of control and allow ourselves to flow, we open the door to new opportunities, unexpected connections, and experiences that we may never have imagined. Living in flow also means being present in the moment, rather than constantly looking ahead to the future or dwelling on the past. Too often, we find ourselves caught in a cycle of planning for what's next, or worrying about what's already happened. We become so focused on what we don't have or what we need to accomplish that we forget to fully experience the now. Yet, the present moment is the only moment we truly have. When we are present, we are in alignment with the flow of life. We can appreciate the beauty of each moment, and in doing so, we invite more joy and fulfillment into our lives. Being present doesn't mean that we abandon our goals or stop working toward our desires. It means that we engage with the process rather than being consumed by the outcome. It means that we focus on what we can do in the present moment, rather than stressing about what's ahead. When we focus on the now, we become more attuned to the subtle guidance that the universe is offering us. We begin to notice the signs, the synchronicities, and the opportunities that are always present around us. Flow is a state of receptivity. It's about being open to the guidance that is constantly available to us, if we only take the time to listen. In flow, we also learn to trust the timing of our lives. As I mentioned earlier, we don't always know when or how things will unfold. However, when we are in flow, we trust that everything is happening as it should. We don't need to force things to happen or rush through life to reach some arbitrary destination. Instead, we allow things to unfold naturally, trusting that the universe is leading us in the right direction at the right time. This requires patience and faith, as we may not always understand why things are happening or why certain events are unfolding in a particular way. But by trusting the process, we create space for life to reveal itself to us in ways that we might not have anticipated. Letting go of resistance is another crucial part of living in flow. Resistance arises when we try to push against the current of life. We fight against circumstances, situations, or people that we feel are standing in our way. We may become frustrated, anxious, or angry when things don't go the way we want them to. But resistance only creates more of what we don't want. It's like swimming upstream. No matter how hard we try, we can't force ourselves to reach the shore. When we let go of resistance, we stop fighting against life and start working with it. We surrender to the flow, trusting that the universe is guiding us where we need to go. Letting go of resistance also means accepting ourselves as we are, without judgment or self-criticism. So many of us spend our lives trying to be someone we're not, trying to fit into a mold that society has created for us. We compare ourselves to others and think that we need to be different in order to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. But true flow comes from embracing who we are, exactly as we are. When we stop resisting ourselves, when we stop trying to change who we are, we allow our true essence to shine through. We stop forcing ourselves into roles that don't align with our authentic self, and we begin to live in alignment with our purpose. Living in flow also involves embracing the idea of ease. So often we associate success with struggle, with hard work, and with pushing ourselves to the limit. We believe that in order to achieve our goals, we have to sacrifice, fight, and exert every ounce of energy. But what if success could be easy? What if we didn't have to struggle to make our dreams come true? The truth is, when we are in flow, success becomes effortless. We take inspired action, not from a place of desperation or urgency, but from a place of clarity and alignment. We work in harmony with the universe, and as a result, our efforts bear fruit with much less effort and struggle. When we allow life to flow, we enter a state of grace. We stop resisting the natural rhythms of life and instead align ourselves with them. This doesn't mean that life will always be smooth or that we will never face challenges. It means that when challenges arise, we will meet them with a sense of calm and trust, knowing that we can handle whatever comes our way. Flow is not about avoiding difficulties, it's about responding to them with ease, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. The more we embrace flow, the more we find that life becomes less about overcoming obstacles and more about dancing with the rhythm of existence. Every experience you have had in your life, no matter how difficult or challenging it may seem in the moment, has served a purpose. There are no wasted moments in life. Even the setbacks, failures, and mistakes are not just obstacles to be overcome, they are stepping stones along your path. Each one contributes to your personal growth and development, shaping you into the person you are meant to be. The challenges you face are not there to punish you, but to prepare you for something greater. When we look back at our lives, we often see the struggles as burdens we wish we could have avoided. We wish we could go back and erase the pain, the failures, and the disappointments. But if we look more closely, we can see that these very experiences have been the catalysts for our growth. They have given us the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience to move forward in ways that would not have been possible without them. In fact, without the difficulties, we might not have recognized the depth of our own potential or understood what we are truly capable of. Every challenge we face is an opportunity for growth. It's easy to see life as a series of obstacles, each one blocking our path to happiness or success. We become frustrated when things don't go as planned, and we start to doubt ourselves or question our ability to achieve our goals. But in reality, these challenges are simply opportunities to become more of who we are meant to be. They are invitations to dig deeper, to examine our beliefs, and to shift our perspective. Take a moment to reflect on a time in your life when you faced a difficult situation. It may have been a loss, a failure, or a period of uncertainty. In that moment, it may have seemed like the world was falling apart. But now, looking back, you can probably see how that experience taught you something valuable. Maybe it helped you develop patience, resilience, or the ability to trust in yourself. Perhaps it opened your eyes to new possibilities or led you to a deeper understanding of who you are and what you truly want. Even the most painful experiences can serve as a bridge to something better, something that aligns more closely with your true self. The key is to see every experience as a part of your personal evolution, rather than as something that is happening to you. When we view life's challenges as personal attacks or as setbacks that are keeping us from our dreams, we create resistance and negativity around them. We start to feel like victims of circumstance, as though life is unfair or against us. But this mindset only keeps us stuck in a cycle of suffering. Instead, when we can shift our perspective and see every experience as a lesson, as an opportunity for personal growth, we start to embrace life as it is, in all of its complexity and imperfection. One of the most powerful ways to shift our perspective is to focus on the idea that everything in our life, both good and bad, is contributing to our unfolding. Life is not a series of random events, it is a continuous process of growth and expansion. Every person we meet, every situation we encounter, and every challenge we face is part of the divine plan for our lives. Nothing is wasted, and nothing is out of place. The experiences that we consider setbacks are simply detours that lead us to greater clarity, greater strength, and greater understanding. This shift in perspective can also help us let go of the need to control every aspect of our lives. Often, we resist the flow of life because we want things to unfold in a certain way. We set goals, make plans, and then try to force the universe to align with our desires. But when we try to control everything, we miss the opportunities that life is offering us. We become so focused on our expectations and our timelines that we overlook the beautiful, unexpected moments that can lead us to something even better than we had imagined. Life doesn't follow our plans, it follows its own rhythm. And when we let go of control, we can allow life to lead us to places we never could have planned for ourselves. When we release the need to control and start trusting that every experience is part of our journey, we become more open to the lessons that life has to offer. We stop resisting the difficult moments and instead embrace them as opportunities to learn and grow. We begin to see that every experience, no matter how challenging, is contributing to our personal evolution. Even the most painful moments have something valuable to teach us if we are willing to look beyond the surface and see them for what they truly are, stepping stones to greater wisdom, greater peace, and greater fulfillment. In fact, the most powerful transformations often occur during times of adversity. It is in these moments that we are forced to go within, to examine our beliefs, and to challenge ourselves in ways that we would not do if everything were easy. These experiences force us to stretch beyond our comfort zones, to question our assumptions, and to expand our understanding of what is possible. It is through the fire of challenge that we are refined and shaped into the person we need to be in order to fulfill our true potential. One of the greatest gifts of embracing every experience, both good and bad, is the peace that comes from knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. Life does not make mistakes, and neither do you. Everything that has happened in your life has contributed to who you are today. Your past does not define you, it is simply a series of events that have shaped you into the person you are becoming. You are constantly evolving, and with each new experience, you grow wiser, stronger, and more aligned with your true purpose. When we begin to see every experience as part of our journey, we no longer fear the challenges that come our way. We know that each one is an opportunity for growth, a chance to become more of who we are meant to be. We stop resisting life and start flowing with it. We trust that, no matter what happens, we are exactly where we need to be. Every experience, no matter how difficult it may seem in the moment, is leading us to something greater. And with each step, we move closer to our true self, closer to the life we are meant to live. As we reflect on the journey of life, it becomes clear that every moment, every experience, every challenge, and every success is part of the greater unfolding of who we are. We are not separate from our desires or from the life we seek. We are already in the process of becoming. The power of intention is always at work, guiding us, shaping us, and aligning us with the energy we send out into the universe. By recognizing that we are worthy, by trusting the timing of our lives, and by allowing ourselves to flow with the current of life, we unlock the potential to manifest the life we truly desire. Each of us is on a unique path, and while the journey may seem difficult at times, it is precisely these experiences that mold us, helping us grow into the person we are meant to become. There is no need to rush, to control, or to compete. We are exactly where we need to be, and every challenge we face is an opportunity to become more aligned with our highest self. We are enough as we are, and the universe is always responding to our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions. In the end, the key to living a fulfilling life lies in embracing who we are, trusting the process, and recognizing that every step we take is part of the grand design of our lives. When we stop fighting against the current and start trusting in the flow, we begin to see how close we truly are to everything we desire. Life is not a struggle to be won, but a journey to be experienced, and when we surrender to the flow, we open ourselves up to the abundance, love, and peace that are already on their way.